Hey Chiefs fans, welcome into NFL Daily on Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, breaking down the divisional matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. Yes, we get Mahomes, we get Watson. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans for knocking out the New England Patriots. I picked that one, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. Texans Chiefs AFC Divisional Round this Sunday in Kansas City. Houston 11-6, Kansas City 12-4. We'll take a look back at Houston's wildcard win over Buffalo in just a moment. Chiefs opening is pretty big favorites, 9.5-point favorites. So go bet on this one at BetDSI today. Over under set at 50 points. But you got the Texans, you got the Chiefs. I'm excited about this matchup. Two exciting young quarterbacks. A lot to break down in this game over the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. But I got a question for you guys. And again, Chiefs big favorites, by the way. We'll talk about that later on as well. Texans, Chiefs, who you got? Type T for Texans, type C for Chiefs. I'm typing my C, obviously. I'll get my score prediction later on in the show. We'll get yours as well. Feel free to predict the score now. But Texans at Chiefs. Deshaun Watson going to Arrowhead to take on Patrick Mahomes and that revamped Chiefs defense. Type T for Texans, type C for Chiefs. You might get hit with the YouTube ad break here. If you do, scroll down to the pinned comment and answer this question. Who you got? Texans at Chiefs. Okay, so to recap a little bit the AFC playoff picture, here's the update. Again, Houston taking down Buffalo. That's how we get Houston and Kansas City. Also, Tennessee giving the Chiefs that assist by taking down New England 20-13. But focusing on the Texans here, since that'll be the Chiefs' opponents, they took down Buffalo 22-19. Big fourth quarter and overtime for Deshaun Watson. Buffalo led this game 16-0. About midway through the third quarter, and then Houston started to come back. J.J. Watt had a big sack to end a drive for Buffalo. That defense got going. Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins finally connected a few times, and Houston found a way to get it done in overtime, 22-19, to advance the divisional round to play the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great game. You look at these two offenses. Look, the numbers favor Kansas City, and we should be pumped about that, right? 28 points to 23.5 points, yards per game. We know the passing is going to favor Kansas City as Patrick Mahomes flings it all over the place. Rush game will favor Houston, although Kansas City has been better in that regard. I think the biggest key for the Chiefs this year versus previous years, especially last year, is the turnovers. Only 5 interceptions this year, only 15 turnovers. That's tied for third best in the NFL. The giveaways this year, Kansas City takes care of the football, not as reckless. Not that Mahomes was ever super reckless last year, but he plays under much more control this year, and I think that's why you see what the numbers are, what they are. Maybe the yards per game are slightly down from last year, but they're taking care of the football. I like what I'm seeing from the Chiefs right now. The numbers across the board offensively, except for running the football, favors Kansas City. Again, 9.5-point favorites are the Chiefs. Over-under set at about 50. I think that's about right in both regards. I'll get my official prediction later on, but if you want to bet on this game, go bet on it at BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code NFL120. Get that 120% deposit bonus. Put down $100. They're going to give you $120 for free. It's the best deal out there. Go bet on the Chiefs to advance to the AFC Championship Game. I know I'm going to do that this week. You look at the defensive side of the ball. Kansas City, look, they've moved up quite a bit in the points per game throughout the season. They're actually better than San Francisco's scoring defense now. 19.3 points per game. Houston, yeah, that's right. They gave up more points than they scored this year. Their point differential was actually -7, which means they got blown out several times this year, won a lot of close games. They deserve credit for that. Yards per game favors Kansas City. Passing, rushing. Rushing does favor Houston, but Kansas City has been much better in that department. That was an area I ripped Kansas City a lot earlier this season, is that they cannot stop the run, including when they played Houston in Week 6. Carlos Hyde ran all over them. But Kansas City, we've done better defensively. The rush D has been a lot better, and the numbers show that. Yeah, 26th isn't great. They were about 31st through about 10 or 11 games. They've improved. Passing defense has been excellent. I've said all year they need to improve at cornerback. Well, Charvarius Ward has quietly had a really, really good season. Obviously, Tyrann Mathieu has been great at safety. They're going to miss Juan Thornhill in this game. Make no mistake about that. But this pass defense has been excellent. Scoring defense has been great. Let's look back at this matchup in Week 6, because I've seen some of you Chiefs fans freaking out on Twitter. Oh, Texans beat us earlier this season. Lots of differences in this game. Texans did win that game 31-24 in Kansas City, so Houston certainly won't be scared coming into this game. They will fully expect to win this one, but keep a few things in mind starting with this. Patrick Mahomes wasn't healthy. The ankle was super banged up. He then got even less healthy the next week when he banged up his kneecap against Denver. Wasn't healthy, was limping all over the place, was not himself. The last month or so, he's really gotten healthy. I can't say he's 100%, but I think he's 90-95%. He's as healthy as he's been all season, so keep that in mind. Number 2, 5 starters were inactive. Yeah, Mahomes played, but Sammy Watkins was inactive, Chris Jones was inactive, 2 offensive linemen were out, including Eric Fisher. Andrew Wiley was out as well. Anthony Hitchens did not play in this game. Keep in mind, remember the middle of the season for Kansas City. Lots of injuries. They have gotten healthy at the right time, but earlier in the year, lots of injuries the Chiefs had to deal with, including against the Texans in that game. 5 starters were out, and Mahomes was not healthy, albeit he did play. And then third key, and this might be the most important one, Chiefs defense wasn't playing well yet. They were still adjusting to Spagnuolo's system. Some guys were banged up, as I mentioned. The secondary wasn't playing well. The linebacker play was abysmal earlier in the season. Not having Chris Jones certainly did not help. And Frank Clark, let's be honest, first half of the year, wasn't a very good player for Kansas City. Second half of the year, he's been the $100 million player that Kansas City brought in from Seattle. So keep those things in mind. Doesn't mean Kansas City's necessarily automatically going to win. We know that's not the case, but these are 2 different teams in terms of health and how they're playing. 2.5, 3 months later, I expect a different type of game here. Now, if you want more Chiefs videos, the latest news, rumors, and much more, you got to subscribe to our growing Chiefs channel. Here's the link, chatsports.com/Chiefs. Most of our videos start on the main Chat Sports channel, but we do other videos on our Chiefs channel as well. We're trying to do more videos on our Chiefs channel. Gotta subscribe, get us the numbers where we can justify doing tons of videos throughout the week. Already doing a few videos per week. I'd like to do a video every day. Chatsports.com/Chiefs. You got to go to that link and then hit that big red button to subscribe to our Chiefs channel. All right, let's compare these 2 quarterbacks. That's what a big part of this discussion is going to be about. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, 2 of, the top 3 or 4 young quarterbacks in the league. Obviously, Lamar Jackson's going to win the MVP this year, but these are 2 of the best in the business. Completion percentage, very similar. Yards is always going to favor Mahomes with the way Kansas City plays offense, and keep in mind, he missed about 3 games as well. Otherwise, he would have had another 5,000-yard season. Again, I talked about it earlier. The turnovers, key. Mahomes only has 5 picks this year. He's done a really good job of taking care of the ball, less YOLO throws, if you will, this year, not putting the ball in harm's way nearly as often. He's second in the NFL in QBR. Deshaun Watson, 7th or 8th. He certainly had an excellent season as well. But all eyes will be on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson in this one. Question for you, which quarterback will have more passing yards in this game? Type M for Mahomes, type W for Watson. Bit of a trick here for me. I think it'll be Deshaun Watson, but I think it's because they'll be playing from behind. Kansas City is going to key in on that run game. Carlos Hyde ran for $116 last time in this matchup. I don't think they're going to let that happen again. So I think Watson will have more yards, but I think Mahomes will be more efficient and be more effective in this game. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Key reason why I think Deshaun Watson will have more passing yards is it looks like Will Fuller is going to play in this game. Ian Rappaport had this note earlier this morning that the Texans expect Fuller to play. He was questionable, a game-time decision against Buffalo in the wild card round. Did not give it a go. We know Fuller's history. He's hurt a lot. He's missed 5 games this year, including the last couple. Last time these 2 teams met, 5 catches, 44 yards, but it's more of his threat to stretch the field in Houston's offense, which is what opens things up and gives more opportunities to guys like DeAndre Hopkins. And when you consider Juan Thornhill, the Chiefs can't play a lot of single high with Armani Watts and Kendall Fuller. They're going to have to scheme up a little bit differently defensively with Juan Thornhill out. That'll certainly be a factor. That'll help Houston out, give them opportunities over the top, but I trust Steve Spagnuolo. Spags is doing a great job with this defense. Tyrann Mathieu had a great year. This D-line for Kansas City is a lot healthier, but Will Fuller returning is certainly a good thing for the Texans. We'll see how healthy he is when these 2 teams match up on Sunday. Want to remind you guys, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. You don't have to just bet on the NFL. You got the NBA, you got the College Football National Championship. Baseball will be coming up right around the corner. You got to sign up at BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. You sign up over there. Use that promo code NFL120 and get that 120% deposit bonus. I like prop bets. You can probably bet on who's going to have more passing yards between Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes in this game. If you want to do it, go do it at BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. That 120% deposit bonus is the best deal out there. Last 5 meetings between these two teams, only once have Mahomes and Watson met up, and that was this year when Deshaun Watson got the better of him 31-24. A couple of years ago, Chiefs beat the Texans in a shootout 42-34. That was Alex Smith's last season, of course. 2016, Texans won a defensive battle 19-12. 2016 wild card, which is actually a part of the 2015 season. We all remember that game. Chiefs blowing out the Texans 30-0. And then also in that 2015 regular season, Chiefs got the better of Houston 27-20. So that's kind of the recent history between these two teams. Now, if you look individually at this year's teams, the last 5 games, Chiefs are on a roll. They've actually won 6 in a row, but you look at these last 5, Chiefs over the Chargers, they blew out the Bears. The Chiefs, we blew out the Broncos, and that's not saying nothing. Drew Lock and the Broncos won several games down the stretch, but they struggled against the Chiefs when the defense really played well. Chiefs over the Patriots, which was a big win, a mental boost, I think, after that last year's AFC Championship game. And then in Week 13, of course, blew out the Oakland Raiders, which kind of started this streak. Texans' last 5 games, more up and down, 3-2. Didn't play great in the wild card game against the Bills, but got it done 22-19 after a slow start. I'll say this, if Houston starts off that slow against the Chiefs, we'll make them pay. They will not be able to overcome that against Kansas City. So one final look here. You got the number 5 offense in Kansas City, scoring offense, I should say. Number 14 scoring offense in the Houston Texans. Texans defense gives up a lot of points, over 24 points per game. Chiefs defense top 10 in scoring, 19.3 points per game. And that's why the Chiefs open as 9.5-point favorites. Again, go bet on BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120 for that 120% deposit bonus. But I think those numbers are about right. Look, I know what happened earlier in the year. I documented it for you guys. Lots of changes since then. Kansas City's playing their best football at the time. And while Houston, look, you win a playoff game, you're doing good things. Did they really play that good against Buffalo? I don't know. They played a good quarter and a half, I guess. I just think Kansas City's a more complete team. I really do. I want you guys to predict the score. I'll give you guys my prediction as well. I've got Kansas City winning 31-20. So I've got them covering the spread and barely hitting that over-under. I think that over-under of 50 and that line of 9.5 is really accurate coming in on BetDSI. 31-20 Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will contain Carlos Hyde, make Deshaun Watson beat him. He'll make some plays. Deshaun Watson's going to make some plays on you, but I think Kansas City's more complete. Even without Juan Thornhill, I think they limit the big plays. Give me Kansas City 31, Houston 20. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section.